Well, welcome back to Living with a Classic, and you've seen this car on the channel once before. It is a customer car. It's a 1966 S-Type, or just known as the 3.8S, 4-speed manual overdrive. Absolutely wonderful car. I've done some work to it, so now it actually starts. We got the choke working, or the AED. We have swapped it to wire wheels. Another shop I've done the front, but I didn't want to do the rear hubs. I've done that. Well, we'll do a walk around later. And I fixed a couple other small things. Temperature gauge wasn't working. Some of the plug wires were a little bit mouse chewed, so we swapped those out. And now it runs really nicely. But I thought we'd just take it for a quick little drive. There we go. And we'll talk a little bit about the S-Type, what it's like, and we'll also talk about my S-Type project, which you haven't seen that much on the channel in a long time. You gotta get used to a car with no side mirrors. I'm definitely gonna want side mirrors on mine, but probably the ones that you sort of clip onto here, because I don't want to drill any holes in the bodywork. But it pulls lovely. Starts on the button on choke as well. I'm gonna roll up the window. It was -4 this morning. Started no problem at all. So all that is working. I actually ended up using a switch on the dash. I found that one of the switches was unused, the ignition switch. There was a switch put in there which wasn't anything on there. So now there is a switch hidden in plain sight to start this thing was cold. I took it for a little drive earlier just to check that everything is fine with the wire wheels. They're all really working well. 4-speed is nice, overdrive is all working. We got temperature gauge sitting at around 80 degrees, which is perfect. And I verified that with an infrared thermometer, and that's all working really well. But not just taking you guys along for a drive in this car, I want to talk a little bit about my project. It's been a while, and there's reasons. I've done a couple things over the years. I've tried to get this channel off the ground. We're getting close to 26,000 subscribers now, and initially that car wasn't really that popular in videos and things, and it's one of those projects where I need to just put in a lot of time and a lot of money, and I'm doing it for myself. And it's because I'm building a car that I absolutely love. I mean, I consider the S-Type a 4-door E-Type. It drives really well with independent rear suspension. In manual form, they're absolutely fantastic, and you can fit the family in the back. And you know, I have 2 small kids, quite the family man, and that's very important to me. And like I said, the next big thing is to put a bit of money into it. It needs a little bit of body work done, and it needs to be painted. That's quite expensive. After that, I'm going to rebuild the engine. I will be doing that myself. But still, it needs a new set of carpets. It needs a headliner. It needs all new rub uppers and everywhere. It needs front suspension. It needs rear suspension. It's a complete rebuild. So yeah, quite a bit going on there. However, I have spoken to Dan the man, the painter, and I've told him I'd like to do it by the end of the year, and we have booked it in for the beginning of November for the car to go to him, which I'm very, very excited about. So something I'm very much looking forward to. One thing I have noticed while driving this one, and we're just cruising here in third, mine was an automatic from the beginning, and I've gone back and forth so many times with what I want to do with it. It came without a transmission, so either I have put in the correct transmission, which I actually have sourced the correct automatic transmission in a parts car that I have, or I put in a more modern transmission, modern but 10 years newer, out of an XJ6. It has to be one that doesn't have a throttle cable, so I picked up a spare Borg Warner 12 just for that reason. But after driving this one, I definitely want a manual. This car is so, let me just pull it a little bit. It is so suited to a manual transmission. It's absolutely lovely. This fully synchronized unit is really nice to drive. It's modern feeling. With overdrive, it's really nice. So either get one of these, or possibly one of the LT77s out of the later XJ6. I know it doesn't have the exact correct position for the gear selector. However, since I will have to modify my center console anyways, I don't think that's going to be a big issue, but I'm not completely sure about that. But some sort of manual I definitely will want to have in it. My favorite spot over here, unfortunately, they've rearranged here. You used to be able to park over there, but they're doing some lumber work here. But here it is running absolutely beautiful now. I just tweaked it a little bit. It was a little bit lumpy when it got here, but now it's running beautifully. I love the yellow French style headlights on it. It just looks even more like cat eyes. Really, really nice. And it looks so correct with wire wheels, in my opinion. They're gorgeous. Mine is a wire wheel car, so I just love it. Mine's very similar to this in spec. I want it manual. I have a 3.8 wire wheels. I have a red interior just like this one. So you see we have a perfect idle there, running nicely. We are at 80, 85. Very nice. Absolutely gorgeous car in my opinion. And controversial opinion, I think this is more beautiful than a Mark II. I love the sculpting flow of the rear end. I love the twin exhausts and the front end with these sort of little, I don't know, eyelids, whatever you want to call it, on top of the headlights and the fog lights. That is just amazing. I also have this chrome strip on mine. I think I'm missing a big leaper, so that's going on mine. I'm not really a leaper person, but on an S-Type, I think it looks really, really good. The clutch is very nice, perfectly weighted, not very heavy at all compared to other cars of this era. Gear shift is nice and precise, and this synchronized gearbox is so much better than the early Moss box. I don't really mind driving Moss. I've driven quite a few of them, and in the right car, it doesn't feel bad. I mean, if it's an early E-Type, something that's supposed to have one, or an old XK, I don't mind, but I can understand why this box is preferred, because it is very nice. Just look at this little downshift here. Absolutely lovely. Oh yeah, definitely gonna make mine a manual. What a lovely drive, and what a lovely car. I feel really lucky that I have one, and that someday it's going to be done. But like I said, the goal for this year, at the end of the year, have this car sitting at home, painted, and then 2025 we can start putting it together. Engine needs to be rebuilt, stores the transmission for it, front and rear end. Interior is good, just needs new carpets, the new headliner, and re-lacquer all the wood. Other than that, should be done in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's a big project, but I think, judging by how nice this thing is and how lovely it was, I just didn't want to stop driving it. It was just fantastic. I think I will thoroughly enjoy mine. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This is Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.